Hello, you magnificent Virgos out there. Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. I'm so happy to have all the Virgos out there with me today. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, even Jupiter, however you associate with Virgo, as well as cross-watchers, you all are welcome. Welcome to the Teacup. Thanks for joining me on my channel, guys. We are going to do your December monthly readings. As always, keep in mind, these are general messages. Not everything I say will resonate with you, and that is completely fine. It is up to you to come into this and only take away messages that resonate, that fit your story in some way. If something seems foreign or, again, just doesn't fit your scenario, you can drop it. It's probably not your message. You can release that energy and focus on what does serve you, what does resonate. I encourage you to come into this with an open heart and an open mind, as always. Sometimes messages will resonate for you later down the line, in a few hours, a few days, a few weeks, however it does. So if that's the case, if something does strike a chord with you, take it and run with it. It means it was your message, okay? Ooh, bottom of your deck, Virgo. Hell yeah, 2 of Cups. I love it. Actually, you have a couple 2s. A decision about love, about maybe who you're offering your cup to, your heart, your soul, all that good mushy, warm feelings around the holidays. All right, I'm such a cornball. I'm sorry. What else do you need to know? Everything else is written in the description box below. As you know, energy is free-flowing, so this is roughly for the month of December, but yeah. So my social media is listed below, including the decks I am using. That is also listed in the box below. Guys, I hit 1,000 subscribers. That's incredible. Like, that's amazing to me anyway. I started this channel in April, and I'm just so pleased with with how it's gained some traction and momentum. So wherever you can drop a like, share, subscribe below, that helps me a lot. King of Cups, literally talking about sharing your love and your likes, right? No, but it's good karma, right? And honestly, it helps me a lot. It helps this channel gain momentum and ultimately gets those messages out to those who want to hear them and need to hear them. I have rambled enough. Let's get into your reading for my magnificent Virgos out there. I love the Virgo squad. Very cool people, those Virgos. I have a coworker at work. She's a Virgo, and she's just so dear to my heart. I love her so much. Oh, and there's your card. All right, bottom of your deck is also the Hermit. I like that. That means, like, you're strong in your energy in the month of December. Happy Sagittarius season. Let's kick you off with one of these cards to get us started. For Virgo, what is the overall energy of this reading? Their energy going into the month of December. For one card for Virgo. Overall energy. For Virgo. Sagittarius season going into Capricorn season, right? That one's peeking out. What is that? Patience. All right, Temperance. Appropriate. It's the card of Sagittarius. It does talk about self-love. It talks about pouring the cup back and forth, but it's one person. It's actually the angel of love who holds it back and forth. It talks about moderation, right? Balancing of the heart and the head. It can sometimes be making decisions. And yeah, maybe who you're essentially like pouring your cup into, who you want to have partnership with. Be it, yeah, absolutely. Versus like the single ladies card. Single man, single lady, you can toss gender out the window. But essentially, yeah, deciding whether it's business partnership or romantic partnership or connecting with family, there is some sort of decision, I do want to say hesitation or even guardedness, protecting one's heart, right? She has her swords across her chest. Maybe making some sort of like emotional risk or taking some sort of emotional risk to, join forces with someone, for lack of a better term, join teams, pour cups back and forth essentially, or choosing to be single, choosing to be like the self-made man, the self-made woman, and having a lot of pride and confidence in that decision of like, no, I'm good as is. I will say, granted, this is your own card, but some of you may be making the decision to stay single or to break off from a relationship that, maybe it was okay at one point, but it just doesn't feel right anymore. And that's what that moon might be indicating to you. And I'm not saying that's the case for everybody, but this is a card of following your intuition. So what you believe in your soul to be true, Virgo, there's value to that. There's reason to listen to that, especially with your card coming up. It's like, soul searching, your internal guidance system, your lantern. It's shedding light on yourself, right? It's doing some internal work. So interesting. Yeah. So if that's the case, if some of you are leaving behind a romantic partnership, potentially with a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, though it doesn't have to be, you may actually be finding new love with it could be with a fire sign, but yeah, new passionate love, something that makes you more excited, it makes you feel more alive. And that is all about that is what Sagittarius season is all about. It's all about like our gusto, our energy, our inspiration, our motivation. It's that feel good energy, you know? Cool. All right, that was actually kind of a long intro. Let's get you started with your Temperance card as your overall energy for this spread. You may be hooking up with a Sagittarius. Why not? All right, so Six of Pentacles is your energy. That is the card of reciprocity. And the Page of Wands. Okay, so something about this card, it always looks like a page to me. It's very youthful. It's very young looking. Learning about who you're giving your energy to is what's coming through here. The pages are frequently children or students. Page of Wands, again, fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Exploration, motivation, inspiration, fun, having a good time. Those are all the themes of Wands. Travel, did I say that already? It can be your career as well, but because it's a page, there's an element of still understanding, learning about that elemental sign or those elemental themes, essentially. So the building blocks of this essentially is the learning about what you enjoy, what is fun, and also who you're giving your time, your energy, your passion to. Maybe finding your soul tribe a bit, right? If maybe some of you are traveling, maybe you're going back, kind of like classic movie scenario, you're going back to like your hometown for the holidays, and I don't know, maybe you end up reconnecting with people from your past or making new friends, right? There's nothing here actually indicating past. I just kind of threw that out there as a scenario with all the holidays coming up. Happy holidays, by the way. Interesting. And if it's not people, and it doesn't have to be, it could be what inspires you to create something in the world. Like what drives your artistic talents, what drives your motivation to go out and, play this or try that or do that. It's kind of like figuring out what excites you. It's kind of a simplistic message, so I don't want to paint 1,000 scenarios, because that's sort of what it's speaking to me. It's discovering what you find fun. So that's kind of a cool energy, Virgo. I like that. And I will say, if it does have to do with deciding who you're giving your time, your money, your love to, right? Again, it could be career, it could be the job you invest all your time in, it could be a romantic partnership. I do think there is an underlying energy here of wanting to seek more, of wanting to travel away from what is familiar, because look at her face. She seems very bored. She doesn't necessarily seem like she's enjoying the task at hand. And the Six of Pentacles is a great card. I'm not trying to gloss or make it negative, but because the underlying energy is like this person who's like a newborn baby. It's like they're looking at the world like everything they're seeing is the first time they've ever seen it. The Page of Wands has this awestruck, this wonder about like, oh my God, isn't this magical? Magic wands, right? Here it's like, I'm in the office, I'm sitting at my desk, like, I don't like this dude next to me who's talking too loud on the phone. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of scenarios there, but it feels like this isn't what's doing it for you. And so maybe you're trying to level the scales in terms of what you appreciate in your life. You're trying to find people or things that you place more value on, if that makes sense. So that's fun. I mean, that's good energy, right? If that's your energy going into December, hell yeah. Sagittarius season, go find some fun. Go have some fun. That's what Sagittarius season is about. They are explorers. They are travelers. They are the philosophers of the zodiac. There's something very spiritual, something maybe like guiding you spiritually that's like influencing you to go seek out more than just the ordinary or the familiar, the status quo. It's taking some sort of risk. Interesting. So you had the poverty card come out, and wow, and great fortune. Isn't that funny? All right. So this one came out immediately. So it's almost like you're wanting to get rid of that. It's almost like that's wanting to be seen and moved away from. Yeah, fast. With the Knight of Swords, card of Gemini. Again, knights are all about change and movement, right? Whenever we see a knight, that means something is progressing forward, specifically in terms of our intellect, our thoughts, our communication with the Knight of Swords. Yeah, so leaving behind a situation where it's like it's just not nourishing you, right? Whether that means your bank account isn't full or you're just not feeling like your life is, like you're living your best life, right? Like it's just very like whatever. I am sort of sensing that energy, Virgo, and so it does seem like you're moving away from this lackluster attitude. It's almost like poverty of, this sounds so weird, but it's like poverty of the spirit. Your spirit just isn't thriving. It's very just like, it feels like you got kicked in the gut and you're just like, ugh, how did I end up in this job? How did I end up in this relationship? How did I end up with these family members who I'm like the black sheep? We have nothing in common. It's something like that. But I think this is what you're headed towards. I think you're after something, again, greater. Sure, it could be money if some of you are looking to capitalize and go from, you know, a difficult financial situation into something better. Great. Wheel of Fortune vibes here. Absolutely. It's not necessarily money for all of you, though. It's more the symbolism of adding more avenues and things to your life that you find quite valuable. You place great value upon them. That's what I'm getting there. A great fortune, discovering that job you never knew you could love, discovering that new person at that random cafe and being like, oh my gosh, we clicked instantly. You're seeking something new. And I think some of you are afraid to leave the status quo or questioning if that's the most, you know what it is? You're questioning if it's the most logical decision. Again, analysis, Virgo, right? You're analyzing the details of like, well, logic says I should stay at this job because I need X, Y, and Z. And yeah, sure. But if you're presenting as the Nine of Pentacles, you're probably doing okay money-wise. It doesn't necessarily mean you're rich. But this card tends to indicate like you're pretty well taken care of. You're probably not stressing to pay the bills monthly. And I mean, that's for some of you, right? That's not for all of you. But generally speaking, it does seem like there is some sort of forward movement that like, you know, spirit, God, universe, whatever you believe in, they're kind of nudging you to move forward on that thought that you were quite excited about. And that's why the Ace of Wands is coming up. There's something you want to move towards that you do see potential in. You see potential for growth, for happiness, for joy, for passion, for learning, for education, for exploring. Maybe some of you are going back to school. Or for some of you, communicating something really important, right? With speed and the wand, it's like, I need to say this right now. Interesting. You also have the Chariot too, card of Cancer. So maybe Cancer plays a factor in this for some of you. There's going to be happiness and potentially reunions, reconciliation, or just getting together among groups of friends, your Friendsgiving, your Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's, whatever. There's going to be some lighthearted energy in which cups are exchanged. And there may be some sort of social occasion where if you are single and looking, and some of you definitely are, there may be potential for, yeah, like this Two of Cups to appear in your path, right? Potential for romantic partnership or at least friendship, right? Yeah, new beginnings. You have a lot of earth energy. You have a lot of pentacles. So those looking to explore an avenue that is like offers you more finance or more abundance. Yeah, again, something about a thought that has crossed your mind, but part of you is being very hesitant to move forward on it. Again, these cards are really, it's like a nudge, right? I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just reading the cards as they present. But yeah, there's, again, with that moon, if your intuition is telling you that you should do something, it's worth a second thought. It's worth a second thought at least. Interesting. Some of you are considering moving jobs and you don't necessarily know what that job is, but you know that you're not getting paid what you're worth. That's coming through very strongly here. All right, so what is going to be your challenge or focus this month, Virgo? The Eight of Pentacles. All right. So that is the artisan, the apprenticeship card, the worker bee mode, earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You got pentacles up the wazoo and the devil. Interesting. So something that keeps you stuck. So some of you are at a job that is a toxic work environment, but again, you might need it to pay your bills. And it's an interesting message here because typically, actually, Eight of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards. It's the idea that the work you're doing, you are perfecting your skill, and there's something about whatever craft or hobby you're working on, even if it's at work, at your job, your career. There's something about it that you enjoy so much that like the hours fly by. It doesn't feel like work because it's an avenue, it's a source of happiness and essentially mastery of what you're trying to become. But what's interesting though is because the underlying energy here is the devil, it's feeling chained. It's feeling stuck to something that you may think your boss is like the devil. You may think your boss is evil. You may think people you work or that work around you are just toxic, like, energy vampires, just not not good for your mental health, not good for your spiritual health, your sanity. Some of you feel shackled to a job that you just can't get out of. And with eights, sometimes they are cards of like liberation and freedom. That's sort of what I'm getting here. It's like liberating yourself from the devil, liberating yourself from something that's holding you back. And it is coming up as your challenge, so that makes sense. Some of you may want to work from home. You may want to start some sort of, I am getting like a sort of practice out of your home. So I don't know if that would be like psychology or therapy and it doesn't even have to be like a practice, but it could be, something, even running like a yoga studio, like in your backyard or, like some sort of thing where it's more like community based and getting people together who have like mutual interests, but it would be run out of your home space or like an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, as they sometimes say. Even if it's not run out of your home, it's like going into business for yourself, running your own business. Interesting. And again, something about the freedom to do that, unshackling yourself from the situation that isn't bringing you happiness. It just feels like a dead end. That's what I'm getting. And I think that's why some of you are just like, I need to go. I need my freedom. I need to be liberated from this. Like, I need to feel excitement in my life again. I want to feel enthused. I want to have fun, right? That's Sagittarius season. That's why that wand is coming up there. And for some of you, it's both. It's like, I want a great career and I want a romantic partnership. For some of you, it's like those are both kind of presenting fairly heavily here. So, but either way, it's about new beginnings and ultimately the new paths we want to go down. With Pentacle energy, it's slow moving. We think of like the acorn to the tree, the seed to the flower, however you want to say it. So it's not going to happen overnight, but again, there's something about a golden opportunity here. There's something worth investing your money, your time, your efforts, your energy, exerting some kind of communication even about how you're going to go after this. You have two aces, two brand new beginnings, and the aces start with us internally. Again, our passion, what inspires us, what motivates us, the things we want to build in the tangible 3D world, our house, our home, our car, our possessions. It could be our health. It could be our body. Starting anew. Maybe some of you want to, get back on track in terms of like exercising and eating right and taking care of yourself. Not just, I was going to say in the new year, but it's like, I've said this to a couple other times too. You don't have to wait for, 11:59 p.m. on whenever it would be December 31st, right? Like you can start anew now. And because something about 21 coming up, it made me think of the World card. This is about closing out an old cycle, about something that you've outgrown, but you're still staying there. And it's scary to leave it behind, right? Because there is something sweet and intoxicating and delicious, or even like, there's some sort of illusion with the devil of keeping us safe. We think because it's familiar, because I keep going back to these metaphors, like you've tasted the fruit, right? And it's sweet, so you know that you can do it, or you know that like you like it, right? Or in a sense, it's familiar. I'm just going to stick with that. But it also tricks us into believing that there isn't something better out there. We start doing this lack mentality of like, well, this is familiar. This is all I've known. And so like, it's scary to leap into the unknown and not know what awaits me. Like, at least this is consistent. At least I know what to expect here. It's like, yeah, but you know that you can expect to be treated like shit, right? Like it's again, I don't mean to condescend or talk down to you, but this is like raising your vibration to realize like the work you're doing for like a slave driver, it's not really worth what you're the toll it's taking on your body. Yeah, that's coming through here too. Again, mental health, mental clarity, spiritual health, which is kind of an interesting way of phrasing it, but that is such a thing. It's directly linked to our emotions, right? Our happiness, our joy. It's coming up as your challenge. Some of you may have a lawsuit against somebody at work or the company you work for, and you're waiting for settlement, or you're waiting for some sort of good news or communications about where you stand, especially in terms of like a payout. So for those waiting, for some sort of payout. Temperance and Two of Cups. All right, interesting. So there will be some sort of money flow back and forth. I don't know if it's going to be as much as you were anticipating. It may just be like a dribble, a portion of what you were expecting, but I think you will hear back about it. Potentially in Pisces season, so that would be a few months from now. So yeah, you have Temperance coming up twice. There's a need to be patient. Absolutely, you're going to need to be patient if you are waiting for some sort of settlement or payout. Okay, so what is going to be the help available to my Virgos? The Three of Wands. Interesting. I want to clarify that instantly. The Two of Wands. I knew that was going to come up. I don't know why. I just felt it. So interesting. There is a desire for you to move forward with something, and yet your advice or guidance, Three of Wands, is waiting for your ships to come in. The underlying energy is the Two of Wands, meaning you've come to a crossroads. You have a lot of twos. You have the Two of Swords, you have the Two of Cups, you have the Two of Wands. So a crossroads about decisions to make, about actions to take, and about who to invest your emotions with, who to give your energy to. Even something about like faith or commitment here, right? Lots of crossroads, lots of decisions. The underlying energy is what path to take. It doesn't have to be physical movement, but for some of you it might be. Leaving a job, leaving a relationship, moving across the city, something like that. It could be choosing between people, between relationships. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, I see. Okay. So it's almost like, this is kind of an interesting way it's being presented, but it's like this decision it's obviously weighing heavily on some of you, but you're not making it. I think you're being defensive to choose, essentially, right? To left or right, this or that, north or south. Like, it's almost like your confusion about what the right move is ultimately resulting in you not going anywhere at all. It's you're staying, you're waiting. You're waiting for some sort of sign. And again, the idea of waiting for your ships to come in, some of you are waiting for a payout or for a contract, or maybe some of you are waiting for a job offer. Now, I will say that is cool, but I'm also going to say this. Wands denote action being taken. So here, it's like, typically the Two of Wands is the idea that you're going to choose one, and then once you do, you're going to look like, so, you know, metaphorically, you've chosen to go down this path. Then you're waiting for signs that you've chosen the right thing. You're waiting to see the results, the tangible results, or the signs from above that you've made the right choice. Excuse me. So here, my only advice to you, Virgo, would be that if you haven't taken action on anything, nothing is ever going to change. And maybe some of you want that. I don't think most of you do. But if you're not ready to unshackle yourself from this, if there's a reason why you see value in staying, and I hesitate to say that, but again, everyone's story is different. Nothing will ever change if you never take action to change it. That is the help available to you. So take that if it resonates. Now, for those saying, I want change, I don't want this, the help available to you is recognizing that you have wands in your hand. You can take action whenever you want. You have to figure out what is going to motivate you and inspire you to change it, like the status quo, to get yourself out of this situation. It does, or it may potentially involve traveling, moving, action, right? That's what wands in tarot stand for. So there's a way to exit this situation gracefully, and there's a way to do it in a shady way, a shisty way. The liar, cheater, thief card, this is saying to me, be very careful, because while you think you may be doing something under the radar, very like fly-by-night operation, kind of, again, like seedy. I don't know what this would be. I'm trying to give you an example, but like screwing someone over right before you turn in your resignation, or something like that, like tampering with the computers before you leave and quit the jobs. I don't know, something like that. You're standing in broad daylight. The sun is shining right on you. So again, just a word to the wise. This isn't for everybody, but if you are thinking about getting out of this situation in a way that is... Sorry, guys. In a way that is sneaky, in a way that is not very blunt and honest and truthful, which is what the Knight of Swords is. Blunt, honest, truth. Something about this is going to catch up with you. It's like the devil can see you. He may be shrouded in shadow, but he can still see the light. He can still see you. Something about this is like you're trying to decide how to take action, and there's one way that's seemingly easier and maybe less awkward. It's almost like sliding out the back door and not saying anything, versus maybe having that really awkward conversation and confronting someone, sharing your truth, standing in your truth. There's greater value in that. Standing up for yourself, knowing your worth and value. No shade, but I have to say this because it's coming up. There's a cowardly way of handling the situation, and then there's a way to do it with class, with power, and I will say with authority. This is kind of like a powerhouse energy, and again, even with the 9, I lost your Hermit card, but that's your powerful energy, Virgo. Don't sink to their level. Don't sink to this person's level, even though you might be tempted. Raise your vibration, because ultimately the love you put out in the world, your authentic truth, sharing that with the world, that's what the universe is going to mirror back and deliver back to you. So for those looking for abundance and blessings and money flow, romantic partnership, there's a need for you to purify yourself or cleanse yourself from this energy, and don't take it on yourself. Just because this person rules like a dictator doesn't mean you need to, or say things in haste or hostility or things you're going to regret. I'm just going to leave it at that. Again, with the 2 swords here, a poor decision, right? 2. I'm sorry, guys. I was coughing so bad. I just had to pause you real quick. All right, so let's head into your last section here, which is your advice or guidance. Ace of Swords. All right, so stand in your truth. Guys, this is actually really incredible. You have 3 aces. So not just in the new year, right? When we say our New Year's resolutions and want to start anew and bring in new things, you have the potential to do this in Sagittarius into Capricorn season, right? Roughly the month of December. 3 new pathways you could take. Like it's pretty incredible. And it's all the same deck too, which is really interesting. And I just love the depictions of the aces. I just think they're beautiful cards. This is about standing in your truth, empowering yourself, and there is something about bravery here. While you may not want to, I just heard stick it to the man. I love that. Makes me think of School of Rock. Stick it to the man. While you may not want to have this awkward conversation, there's something valuable about taking this very important step, because it is forcing you to step into your power that maybe you have kept hidden, or you have kept... It's almost like you've been a servant to someone else, or your superior has treated you like a lesser person. This is about coming forward and speaking your truth, and it might not be something they want to hear, but again, there's this temperance, there's this balance of saying what needs to be said, but doing it in an effective, classy way. And I struggle to use the word classy, but I think you understand what I mean. It's not yelling and cursing at someone and punching them in the face because they didn't treat you well. It's letting them know with a very clear, blunt truth and communication, this is not serving me anymore. Like, you're treating me like a slave. You're not valuing me. You're not paying me what I deserve. this feels like a career read for a lot of you. Again, if it resonates as a romantic relationship, or, you know, an abusive, toxic relationship, codependency, something like that, nothing will ever change unless you take action to change it. The only warning or red flag there is be careful how you choose to do it. All these twos are saying you have multiple ways of handling the situation. Where's my other two? There's different things you could communicate. There's different things you could say. There's different physical actions you could take. You know, you can punch somebody in the face, or you can shake their hand, or you can just, you know, you can just do nothing at all and speak your truth and leave, right? It's about speaking your emotional truth, and communicating your truth, communicating what needs to be said. And yet there's something about it where you're hesitant to do it. You don't want to do it, but I do feel like that intuition is calling you to do it. It's important. Yeah, you have a lot of twos, which is interesting because it's like once you make the decision to go down path A or B, left or right, it doesn't matter to me, right? It's your path. You have to choose it. Once you make that decision, though, to stop waiting and actually move forward, take action in some direction, one, you're working your way towards the Four of Wands, right? The very solid, steady foundation, essentially if you're looking to rebuild, right? Huge potential for growth, right? With Wands. It's like then you start your new journey. You start your new beginning with all these aces, right? Full of potential that could grow into, you know, your dreams coming true, right? I think you guys are looking to rebalance the scales and put your life back into the main focus. It's like it just feels like you've been devoting your life to something or someone else, and there wasn't any payback. There wasn't any reciprocity. And it's being presented as a page because it's like going back to like your inner child. What is it that excites you? What is it that you want to do and create and contribute to this world? It's going back to figure out how to rebalance the scales and how to incorporate a little bit of fun in your life. Again, Sagittarius season. All right, Virgo, pretty cool. That is what I got for you. And yeah, this Two of Cups is a cool card. I like it with the birds. I'm encouraged for those looking for specifically new partnership. Again, it's presenting as a 2, not like a 10. New partnership might be coming in, and actually, I'll give you one on that because I feel like that's cruel to be like, it might be coming in, but I don't really know. I'll give you one. For those looking for new love, for those looking for like a 2 of Cups, what does Virgo need to know? What is the best card that would indicate a 2 of Cups information here for Virgo? That one wants to be seen. The Sun. Okay. Happiness, joy, growth, renewal, sunflowers. Somebody may have a name that is like a nickname for a flower, like Rosie or Daisy, or that could be like their pet's name or something. I don't know why that just came through, but that's for some of you. Ooh, and you guys are going to meet on the similar path. They're coming up as Page of Wands too. Could be a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, specifically a Leo with the Sun card. So that's like a little preview for some of you, right? That's not going to be for everyone. But those who maybe have a Leo in their life that maybe they're crushing on, Page of Wands can be flirting too. It's like passionate communication, but again, early on as a page, you know, freshman in college, so to say. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what resonates for you. Have a very happy holiday season, and I will see you more soon for more tarot readings.